Hello, and welcome to your daily oracle reading for Friday, June 12th, 2020. I'm Linda the Lightworker. I'm a shamanic practitioner, and my specialty is helping you stay on your right path, that path that you've chosen where you are taking care of yourself. Maybe you're not doing something you used to do, and you're just doing your best to, you know, feed yourself well, put positive thoughts in your mind, and take it one day at a time. I'm here for you. Anyway, as I stumble through my intro today, if this is your first time here, hang in there. I'll get better, I promise you. Today, I'm doing a general reading for all of us, especially during this time of COVID. And even though it's summertime here, we are not out of the woods yet. And there are still many things unfolding. So if this is your first time here, I appreciate you stopping by. If you want to find out more about me, check out that description box down below. My web address is LindaTheLightWorker@gmail.com, or you can email me directly, LindaTheLightWorker, vice versa.com. You know what I mean. You're not a newbie here on planet Earth, and if you are, welcome to Earth. All right, let's jump into our cards. I don't know why I said that. Today I'm using the Mother Peace Tarot deck, which is a staple for me. It's one that's always in my medicine bag. This is the guidebook. This deck, my heavens, this must be 30 years old. I hate to reveal how old this deck is, but I love it. And Karen Vogel, she really was right on the money with this one. So check it out. It's a bestseller on Amazon. All right, our first card today is the very beautiful yellow 8 of discs. Now let me see, maybe I should adjust the lighting a little here. So here, what's happening here? You're like, what's happening in this picture? Okay, that's better. All right, these women, there are 8 of them, although they're all scattered about. There are 8 projects going on. These women are collaborating, doing everyday tasks. Some are cooking, some are sewing, some are weaving, some are making crafts. You know, everyday things. There's creativity, it's collaboration. Now, this is about the discs, right? We have 2 cards from the discs. The first is this 8 of discs, and that really is about all of your stability, your foundation, your connection with others. So if you are still working at something and not feeling connected to it, the invitation today is to ask yourself why. Ask yourself why you've made choices to do X, Y, and Z, and really check in with yourself and make sure it's still a good fit, because you might be ready, and I know many of you are, to start new businesses or to start moving life in a new direction, because there's every opportunity to do so. Our second card, which is typically about our action during the day, is the 3 of discs. Now these are 3 women collaborating to build a house. And there are many ways. They might have obstacles that come up, and sometimes they have to climb over the wall. Other times they have to slip through the hole there while they're still building their foundation. There is a purpose in this collaboration. You know, one of my soul friends, one of my soul family, I call her grandmother, she really talks a lot about the power of 3. And there is something that magical. Having 2 sisters myself, I know that every time we're together, like in the same place and working on the same thing or a piece of music or something, magic always happens. So when there are 3, I mean, 2 is incredible. You can get that divine unity, such as with a marriage or, you know, a loving relationship. But the power of 3 is about real creation, and this is again in the pentacles. So this is foundation, your future. You're building, you're growing, you're building your house. So you have a slight idea maybe where you're headed. Maybe you don't know exactly. Look, maybe the architect didn't show up and they left you with just one wall and you're figuring it out. Well, and this one, maybe she's looking at her phone and saying, what would Siri say? So just hang in there, because you're working together. It's a work in progress. You are collaborating. Perhaps you're also getting wise counsel from 2 other women. I'm hearing that you're really just talking it out with them. All right, our third tarot card for today is this. I got to turn it down again. See, I don't like how dark it gets, but that's what I got to do. All right, so this is the Priestess, no, Yeah. The Priestess of Cups. So that's like the Queen of Cups. Now, we had her the other day, but in a different deck. So she's very dreamy. She's very intuitive. She is, you know what, she's waking up to listening to her dreams. This is a good day to really invite yourself to do some vision work. So perhaps you can have a meditation or take a nap, take a cat nap today, and ask yourself as you're falling into like a dreamy, wonderful place, and maybe listen to something uplifting or inspirational in your headset or by binaural beats or something that inspires you. And then ask yourself a question about this period of where you are right now, this period of time, this growth and collaboration, working with others. That's the real invitation. Ask Spirit to give you a message that you can write down. And then I promise you, you'll be granted something. You'll write something down. And here's the fun part. It might not make sense at the time, whatever you write down, okay? But just write it down, because Spirit's always really ready and willing to speak with you, and for you to be tapping into this higher power that you have. You have this intuition. And if you're, okay, and here's the other message that's coming through for you. For some of you, perhaps. Some of you might be really taking this isolation thing hard. You know, I'm still in my 2-week quarantine, and I just can't tell you how much I love it. I have so much to do, and I'm having the best time just going through my process and doing what I'm doing. So, but some people are really struggling with it. It's been too long, and isolation can lead to bad habits, bad thoughts, and bad behaviors. So here's the question to ask you. If you are feeling lonely and you feel like you might do something that you might regret later, perhaps you might start smoking when you've given it up, or perhaps you've given up sugar and you might be tempted to eat a feeling or go for something that doesn't really make you feel good. Here's the invitation. Reach out and touch somebody, call someone. But ask yourself when you're reaching out, this is the soul-seeking question to ask yourself. Ask yourself how you're pulling people into your world. What's that mean? Well, that means, let's say you've had some blows. So listen, I mean, I know I'm on the joy bus most of the time, but I know there are a lot of people who are hurting right now and have had some hard blows happening. So it's an invitation to ask yourself, if you are feeling like a victim, if you're going to, you've got to share that story, of course, with someone. But ask yourself if you're repeating the same stories over and over. That's the real thing. And maybe it's time for you to look at who you're attracted to or whom you want to pull into. Because the invitation here is to really cultivate deeper relationships with yourself. You first with you. You first with you. So if you have some big emotions percolating or feeling sad or overwhelmed by these deep emotions, because they can run very deep, especially she is the Priestess of Cups, and that's powerful medicine. So don't forget that. Allow yourself this space to process it. And then when you're feeling better, share your story. Know that your story will help someone else. So pay attention to your process and know that people will be rejoining you. It's not a forever sentence. You're not alone. People are all around. And there are phone numbers everywhere to call. So don't give up. Hang in there. This can be a real emotional time, because we're going to go to our final card right now. And this is what's going on. We are crossing bridges. The message says, it's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. Oh, I'm schwitzing. Oy vey. It's hot in the desert. So you are crossing these bridges. These are emotional bridges that you are crossing. This is big work. You're doing big stuff. I know for some of you, you are starting a project or changing a relationship that's been like a lifelong relationship, and you're waking up and you're saying, I can't do this anymore, and you need your sister tribe to help you with just your basic life. And that's just connecting, sharing stories while we do women's work. And I don't mean gender, I'm not trying to oppress us, but there are some things that some women do where we putter and we do things with our hands, and we cook and we sew, and we're producers, we're creators. My goodness, life comes from us. So while we are working on this, know that you are healing these old wounds. And as you're able to recognize you are making a healthy transition into a new part of your life, look at how you've got that light ahead of you. It may look a little dark out there, but we've got the light of the moon. It looks like purple skies. Looks like a beautiful night, a nighttime walk. Wouldn't that be nice? Out here you have to be careful because there are rattlesnakes, but don't worry, I think this guy's safe. So that's our reading for today. It sounds like there's a lot going on. It could be quite an emotional time. I know the last 14 days or so have been really intense emotionally, what's been happening. Maybe 3 weeks now things have been happening, and it's challenging all of us. And I just want you to know, hang in there, little tomato. You are not alone. We are all in this together. Things are changing, and positive changes are afoot. But sometimes before those births happened, we might need to call in a specialist, or this could be a cesarean. I don't know. It could be a breech. It's a tricky birthing process, but it's happening. So you're in it for the long haul. Get some water. Be sure you're taking care of yourself. Get enough rest. I mean, today is a 5-star day for naps. So if you can take a little siesta time, do it. Do it. Take a nap. Rest. Don't overdo it. All right, my dear. If this is one of your first times here, I am so grateful you stopped by. Please consider subscribing, sharing, all that nonsense that goes with social media. But it is our platform, and I'm grateful that it's here. I'm grateful you're here because I love you. I know you have been through it. You have done so much. You've worked so hard, and you have put in your time, and you can receive the good stuff that's headed out here for you. So if no one's told you today, I love you, and I look forward to seeing you next time.